Oh yes, it is that time of year again. Adobe InDesign has dropped all its brand new 2021 features. My name is Daniel Walter Scott. I'm a designer and I'm an Adobe certified instructor, and I'm going to take you through the new features plus the sneaky one that they dropped about 3 months ago. That is probably my most favorite new feature that has come out in InDesign in a very long time. So let's cover the new ones first, and then we'll cover that sneaky one a little bit later in the video. Let's jump in. All right, so the first one, content aware wrap. Okay, so let's jump down to page 6. I'll throw in some shortcuts as we go around. Just, it's a time to learn some shortcuts as well as new features. That's Command J or Control J on a PC. 6, enter, it's good for long documents. Ours isn't that long. All right, let's bring in our images. Command D, Control D on a PC. I'm gonna bring in these 3. Okay, click open. There's a box for, actually, another little shortcut, your left and right arrow means you can toggle through the ones you've had selected. And in this case, I've accidentally, but on purpose, to show you a little shortcut is this one I don't want. You can just hit escape and it clears it back down to 2. So I want this one there and that one there. And let's do that content aware. I want the text to wrap around the outside of this man here. He's got a nice contrast between him in the background. Let's click it. And let's go to, you can't use this text wrap one at the moment. There's not enough detail in it. You've got to go to text wrap, the actual panel under window. Click on that, click the third one along, okay, this object, and then it's text wrapped and it's pushed everything kind of outside of its box, but you want to change it down here. It says type to select subject. You ready? You SETI? New feature time. Oh, it's good. Pen tool gets a bit wayward around his head, but if you're like me, if you've used the pen tool to do kind of a text wrap, yours looks way worse than that. A couple of big giant circles, if you're like me anyway. You can play around with whether it's left side or right side or both sides, or in this case, the largest area seems to always work for me. And we can play around with how far away the kind of the distance. Okay, watch this, go up 1, 2, 3. If you hold shift, you can go up in tens, okay, multiples of 10. Okay. That works for any up and down. You could use kerning or leading. Just hold shift when you click the arrows. That's going to be enough for me. Let's have a look now at another example, because that one works really well. I found an example that works really well. Let's have a look at one that works okay, and I'll show you some extra bits for it. So I'm going to go File, Place again. That's Command D on a Mac, Control D on a PC. Let's go to Coffee. Okay, I'm going to open it up, and I don't really have a place for it to go. I'm going to hit, actually just drag it out, and let's kind of put it, how big do I want it to be? About that sort of big. I'm going to send it to the back, Command Shift square bracket, the first of them. On a PC it's Control Shift square bracket. I'm going to get it kind of in the middle there, and I should really tidy up the edges. Because you're watching, I totally would do this on my own. All right, so we've got our coffee mug or coffee cup. I've got it selected. Same thing again. Click on it, go down here, select subject, and you can see it's done a average job at the clipping mask. It's weird. Photoshop does it like amazingly. They've got a new feature kind of that does the path select. Hopefully InDesign gets it soon as well. So you might be looking at it and it does a whole lot better job. But in this case, what you can do is, you can see I can kind of push this out. So this is what I'm doing, is I'm pushing it out. And to be honest, like, I'd probably leave it like that and probably go for largest area again and be happy enough with that. Okay, but say you do want to adjust it, you've got to kind of do it as the last part, because look what changes over here in my text wrap panel. If I start grabbing any of these dots with my white arrow or my direct selection tool, and I go, actually, I want to push that one out. Can you see what happened? Now it's a user-defined path and I can't kind of do that automatic adjustment. I can do it manually. Okay, let's zoom in. Okay, and you can kind of just bend it around. So if you get close, you can go through and do some adjustments. Probably for this coffee cup though, probably just do a big giant circle and a big giant oval at the end here. Okay, but pretty nice, like, especially if you've got more complex things like this guy here saved loads of time. This one here, maybe 2 circles would have worked, but wasn't that hard to adjust. All right, last thing before we go, this came out a little while ago now. Select on him, it just went in at full size. You can go to this last little option over here, content aware fit, and it tries to look at the image and tries to fit him best as he can within the frame. That was close enough. That's what I do. Dump image, click content aware, and make my final adjustments. All right, next feature and new for 2021 is locate colors. Now this locate colors is basically the quick short version is if you go find change, look, we've got color at the end here now. Let me show you kind of some practical application of it. Let's say that, let's dump something in the cover here. So Command D, Control D on a PC, let's put my cover image in, put it in there. Again, man, that's good for me. All right, I'm gonna grab a couple of colors. I'm using my eyedropper tool, which is the I key. I'm gonna grab one of these kind of peachy colors, hopefully. I'm gonna add it to my swatches panel. Okay, so I'm gonna close down text wrap, open up my swatches. There we go. So I'm gonna add that one to my swatches. I'm gonna grab, hit escape, or no, go to my move tool and back to the eyedropper tool to kind of clear out the eyedropper. And I'm gonna grab a kind of I want like a slaty color from her shirt. I'm trying to tie in some of these text colors with the image. Okay, so I want that one as well. So I've got like a slate and a peach. Let's just double click them. Name with color value. So we'll use slate. This one here, we'll use peach. All right. There's a couple of things you just need to double check if you haven't done a whole lot of finding and changing is let's go to edit, find change. Make sure it's color at the end here. You have been able to do color for a little while, oh well, for a long time. You could do it with objects and with text separately, but now you can just do it as a general kind of, let's just do color, not worry about or defining lots of things within colors and objects. So I'm gonna find this green that I've been using. So this is already in my swatches, okay? And look at that, you can do tint ranges as well, but I want that RGB color, I wanna change it to my new one, which is going to be this peach. And the thing with it though, you just got to make sure if you have something selected, you'll have an option here that says selected and it won't work. So just say all of this document. Or if you've got lots of documents open, you can do it all at once, which might be super handy for you. Okay, so you can decide on which kind of frames as well. I'm just going to let it do everything and I'm going to click change all and it's going to run through 3 instances. Hooray! A nice simple adjustment and yeah, nice little addition for InDesign. Let's have a little look at problem you might have is, say I want to change this gray. This gray's been used quite a bit through this document. Okay, down here, lots of places, but I don't have it as a swatch. So we can't do that color switch. So you do need to convert it into a swatch first. So let's grab this color. Let's add it as a swatch. So I'm just grabbing the text, okay, and I'm going to say you are a new swatch. And it's pulled it out. HSB we'll discuss in a little second. It's a new thing for InDesign 2021 as well. But now it's in there, I can go and change it all. And sometimes it is nice, and an excuse to show you a cool little shortcut is down the bottom here, this button that you've never clicked, click on that one. Okay, it's really nice that you can see this document, plus you can start scrolling down. Like they're just two views of the exact same thing, but now I can kind of start to see what else gets changed. Okay, so I can see in here and over here. So let's go to edit. Change it from peach to our HSB color that we created to the one that we want to switch it to, which is slate. Have a little look, title, that box, text, various places. Let's go make sure it's on document. Change all. Look at that, 12 instances changed. Thank you very much. All right, so that is find and change color. Super useful. Let's click done. Look at the next one, it's called HSB color. And my accent HSB is H for hue, S for saturation, B for brightness, HSB. So to get to it, let's see this. I've got nothing selected. I've got my foreground color. I'm going to double click it. And if you're using RGB and you're like, great, I like this color. Let's make a darker tone of it. You're like, what do I do? Where do I drag it? Do I drag it down this way? RGB is a weird color space. I don't know why. It's not even primary colors. Okay, what's green doing in there? I know, something to do with light. But anyway, let's look at this HSB. So I'm going to cancel out because I destroyed my color. Go back in there. So instead of trying to mess with RGB or trying to do the whole just add some K trick to CMYK, does anybody do that? I do it. Just whack a bit of K in there and it gets darker. But now you can add these, play with these new little sliders. So they're not new. They've been around. It's just a different way of controlling RGB. Okay, they're exactly the same, just you can do it by hue, saturation, and brightness rather than red, green, and blue. Okay, so hue, obviously up and down, hue slider, wrecking my colors. Saturation, okay, I can make it more saturated, less saturated, and brightness one I use quite a bit, just to darken things up. Okay, so I'm going to cancel out because I've messed around with it. Double click it to go back in and just go to brightness and go, give me a darker version, please. And I can add it to my swatches. Click OK. I don't often use this. I kind of use it on the fly. I'll show you. Let's close down these double windows. Okay, and let's say this one here. Let's get a lighter version. So double click it. And if you're like me, you use these like little windows to change the colors. You go to here, you go up to here, and now HSB. Okay, instead of switching to these ones. Okay, so HSB, and again, I probably like these sliders even better than the way it's displayed over this side. So I can say, actually just give me a lighter version. Okay, I'm gonna unsaturate it. Look at that. I'm gonna add that to my swatches as well. Swatches plus. So now I've got like my original color, my original peach, and I'm just dragging it up. I got a lighter version and a darker version. And I guess it helps explain. You'll end up with these and freak out. You're like, well, what is HSB being in here? It's just another way of displaying, it's the same color space as RGB, just a different way of working it. It doesn't matter if using the RGB version of it or the HSB. Lab, CMYK, completely different color spaces. These are the same. So anyway, I wanted that one to be the dark one. I wanted to be a nice big box in there. Command Shift square bracket to send it to the back. Actually, it's on the wrong layer. And let's get it onto the right layer even. Background, there we go. Okay, and I want this to be my new fill color. Ooh. Anyway, it's actually pretty baked in. You can go to your pre-flight panel and it's actually in there as well. So window, let's go to pre-flight, which is hidden under, oh, I remember output. Let's go to pre-flight. Okay, and you can define it in here. So let's make a new one. Let's go to define properties and you can see in here colors, there he is. These not color spaces that you might not be allowed. Okay, you might be deciding that you don't need RGB or basic copy. This is Dan's pre-flight. So this will give you a warning if you are using these wrong color spaces. Don't want RGB, but I also don't want HSB because they're the same thing. Okay, so click OK. And let's actually define the profile. Checking 30 errors because I use all those HSB colors. All right, so that's hue, saturation, brightness. If you're using Illustrator and InDesign, use them in there as well. They're basically implemented the same way. You might find them a little bit more helpful. Next new feature is something called Recovery as a Service. Now, what is it? It is when your files go corrupt and your computer doesn't know what to do with it. You can actually send it to Adobe now or automatically send it to them and they can see whether they can fix it for you on your behalf. It's a bit of an automated process. Now, I can't make this happen. I can't break or corrupt a file. So I've just got some screenshots of kind of what's meant to happen. So you have something, it opens up, it can't open it, and it says, would you like it to process it on their temporarily on their services? You say yes, because it's broken, and it does some stuff and opens it up and recovers it. So up until recently, it was just an email you sent it to. But to be honest, like this is a new feature, I guess they've released it. But for me, I don't know. InDesign for me has been super stable for so long now. I guess that's why we like InDesign. It's you might be different. You might be like, finally, recovery as a service is going to be useful for you. I can't seem to break my files anymore. But anyway, that's a new service that's in there. If it discovers an unopenable document, it will try and fix it automatically. Now there's one more update for InDesign 2021, and it's a small update to something that came out only a couple of months ago. So I bet you there's lots of people out there who haven't seen, share for review. So there's a couple of updates to that, but I bet you there's lots of you who have never heard of it and I want to share it with you. It's my absolute favoriteest update for InDesign for a very long time. And real quick before I actually show it to you, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a like. Those sorts of things help me. I like getting liked. And also if you want to see more of the updates that are coming for InDesign, there's some amazing ones planned for the kind of beginning of next year. Subscribe to the channel and I'll let you know. Also, what you are seeing playing in the background in front of you now, these are the things we create together in my InDesign Essentials and InDesign Advanced courses. So if you are either new to InDesign or have been self-taught for a very long time and you're ready to take your skills to the next level, check out the link in the description. I've also got courses for Photoshop and Illustrator, XD, Premiere Pro, After Effects, Dreamweaver. Anyway, I'm holding you to ransom for the last feature. Let's jump back to InDesign now and check it out. All right, share for review. Easiest way, click this icon and share for a review. For whatever reason you don't have that one, you can go to File and share for review. Either way, you end up in the same place here. So I've got my name of my document. I'm going to create a share for review. And basically this is web-based. So this is going to go out to my client or my stakeholder, whatever you want to call that person. And they don't have to have InDesign, which is amazing. They can do. So invite only, let's just do a quick version of it. I'll double back and show you the more nuanced parts of it, but let's just go to public. Don't require a password for the moment to make this work. And here's my little link here. I'm gonna click it. It's gonna open up a page that's not on this, not on the screen. Yeah, I'm gonna drag it up here. Make it full screen, and look at that. I've got a web version of it. Okay, that I can share with anybody, and they don't need InDesign. They don't even need Adobe ID. Okay, and it's got the spreads. What's nice about it, I can just share that link. It's here. See this little like copy thing? Okay, copies it to clipboard. That's not that clear anyway. And you can just email it to them or send it via social media, but they get this web interface. And this brings us to the new updates for 2021. So it's these three buttons weren't there before. Really useful. Okay, so let's say that contents page here. Let's say I highlight this, I click on the highlighter, and it highlights it, as you'd imagine. And I can say things like, are we using American spelling here? I can't spell American. I should not be spell checking anybody's work, but I submitted. Let's look at a couple of the other ones, and then I'll show you how it looks on the InDesign side. Now you can see it's coming up with my name here because I happen to be logged into my Creative Cloud account. But if this person doesn't have it, they can log in as a guest or sign up for a free Adobe ID. You don't need a paid Creative Cloud license for this to work. Let's have a look at the other ones. Not like you need to know what strike through does. But it's on my list of things to show you. I've written down my my outline for this video. So anyway, let's look at the last one. Oh, submit that one. And this one here, replace text, buddies, lowercase b. All right, so let's see what happens back in InDesign. I'm gonna close the share for review. Now let's close back in, get out of there. This opens automatically. If you can't find it, you need to go to Windows, go to Comments, and go to Review. Okay, and you can see, but it's got those things in here. But it's nice. It works well. I can click on them. It jumps to the bit that I need to replace. Do we need this? Oh, look, it even highlights it. Let's say I do delete it. Okay, oh, challenges. Okay, can you see my comment is unmapped now? But I can go into here and say, actually, I have resolved that. It's done. Let's do design buddies. Let's make a lowercase b and I'll resolve that one as well. Now I'm just kind of showing you how life works. Okay, nothing's too exciting in here, but let's look at a bit deeper into what you can do. So one of the options is you can hide annotations. Now I've been on preview mode the whole time, so hit W key on your keyboard. You can see my kind of working version. You can see there's my little highlight. Okay, you can hide them if you need to. It's kind of messing up your flow. You can filter them as well. It's pretty clever by the different reviewers, times of days, status. Okay, that all makes sense as well. A couple other interesting things before we finish up is under this, say you do those changes, the web version doesn't update automatically. You've got to go share review and you've got to go to update link and then it will update. Surprised how fast it works. So other things you might do is you might require a password, you might go invite only and add specific people. You can add email addresses. They don't need to be specifically Adobe IDs at this stage, but like, let's say I put in somebody I know that doesn't have an Adobe license, they will be required to create one. It's free to do kind of add comments and stuff. Otherwise, you're going to go public and use the password. It's up to you how kind of smooth you want this to be. I know some clients are going to see that they need to create an Adobe ID. Even though it's free, they'll freak out. So I'm just going to send them a public link with a password. Another nice thing is for me on this side, I can, let's say I'm not replying to me. I can use this @ okay, and start looking at the different people that are included in this. You might have 3 or 4 different stakeholders and you can send ats to them specifically. Okay, you can't see much of me because I'm probably blurred out down there, but you can add symbols. And if you do want to jump out to the actual review itself, go back into there, the web version of it, and you can go into here and say manage reviews on web, and it will jump out to the web page, which is also opening up on the wrong screen. Here it is. It's showing me the different reviews I've got on the go. Go into it, and we're back into that same kind of view that my commenter has. All right, let me switch out to the big camera. All right, that is the end of 2021 features for InDesign. Which did you like best? I put them in order of which I liked the best or thought most is important. Please write in the comments what you think the most important is, just so that I get feedback from you, because I want to know. It's really interesting for me when I do go to make new courses, what features, the audience, you guys, like the best. So drop it down there. Also follow me on social media. These are the places to do it, and it's a bit more casual updates where I talk to you there, unless of this formal camera setup stuff. So check me out there. Also like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel because there are some new updates coming for InDesign. They're dropping them out. They're not waiting for Adobe Max every year, kind of October, November. They're kind of releasing stuff throughout the year. And if you subscribe to the channel, I'll let you know as soon as they come out. Also, I've got other Adobe updates, so Photoshop, Illustrator, After Effects, Premiere Pro, Adobe XD. Check out links for those in the description. I've got updates for all of those. And if you're thinking, actually learn a bit in this course, and you know what I should do? I should upgrade my InDesign skills. If that sounds like you, check out my InDesign Essentials and my InDesign Advanced course. There's links for those in the description as well. But that's it for this year's Adobe Max releases for InDesign. I will see you again in another video soon. Bye now. Wrong hand, that's better hand. Bye.